Welcome back to CIA Declassified. Moscow, 1962. Inside a reinforced room at the Ministry of Defense, two high-ranking Soviet officials are discussing the placement of missiles in Cuba. They've swept the room for bugs. They've checked the phones. They are speaking in low whispers, confident that the three-paneled glass of the window is an impenetrable barrier. But across the street, in a darkened apartment, a CIA technician is aiming a device that looks like a camera lens mounted on a tripod. He isn't taking a picture, he's firing an invisible beam of infrared light at that window. This was Project Colton, and the device was the Inverton. To the CIA, the glass wasn't a barrier, it was a diaphragm, and every word spoken inside that room was making it vibrate. The declassified technical manuals for Project Colton reveal the birth of active infrared audio surveillance. Developed by the CIA's Office of Research and Development in the late 1950s, the Inverton system functioned by bouncing an infrared beam off a flat surface, usually a window. As people speak inside a room, the air pressure changes, causing the glass to vibrate at microscopic levels. The Inverton captured the modulation of the returning light beam and converted it back into audible sound. The physics behind this are known as the photoacoustic effect. When the infrared beam strikes the window, any minute movement in the glass shifts the phase of the reflected light. The receiver unit, positioned precisely to catch the bounce, uses a Michelson interferometer set up to measure these nanometer scale shifts. It was a masterpiece of Cold War physics that turned every office window in the Kremlin into a potential security breach. A quote from a declassified CIA technical memorandum from 1961. The Colton system provides the first reliable method for long-range audio procurement without the necessity of physical entry. The target's own infrastructure, the window glass, becomes the transducer. Tests conducted at distances of up to 500 feet have yielded high-quality voice reproduction, even through double-glazed thermal windows. End quote. The agency faced a massive problem: glass flutter. Wind, rain, or even a passing truck could create so much noise on the window that the human voice was drowned out. To solve this, Project Colton engineers developed the first active noise cancellation filters, allowing the technician to tune out the wind and tune in the vibration of the human vocal cord. While the window-based surveillance is now public, a significant portion of the Colton files titled Solid Surface Transduction remains under heavy redaction. The heaviest redactions follow experiments involving non-transparent surfaces. There's heavy speculation that the CIA successfully developed a version of the Inverton that could read vibrations off of brick walls and steel beams. The theory suggests the redactions hide a breakthrough in seismic audio capture, where the agency could listen to a basement bunker by aiming a laser at a nearby manhole cover or a structural support pillar blocks away. There is also a massive blacked out section concerning, quote, cross-spectral signal processing, end quote. This suggests that the agency might have been experimenting with combined audio-visual intelligence, using the infrared beam not just for sound, but to detect heat signatures or even the subtle flush of skin on a target's face to determine if they were lying. The redactions here are so dense they suggest the technology might still be active and is classified still to this day. Further speculation surrounds the indoor reflection logs. Analysts believe the redacted pages discuss the use of invisible retroreflectors, tiny microscopic beads of glass sprayed onto the clothing of a target. The speculation is that the CIA could paint a target with an infrared beam and listen to their heartbeat in speech by bouncing light off their very shirt collar, essentially turning a person into their own bug. Was Project Colton a success? Operationally, it was a revolution. It removed the entry risk. An agent no longer had to break into an embassy to plant a bug that might be found. They could listen from the safety of a van a quarter-mile away. The success of the project was measured in its invisible footprint. Unlike radio frequency bugs, which could be found with a spectrum analyzer, the infrared beam from a Colton device left no electronic trail. Soviet counterintelligence would sweep for signals and find nothing, leading to a period of paranoid blindness where they knew their secrets were leaking but couldn't find a single physical bug in the walls. A quote from Dr. Herbert Scoville, former CIA Deputy Director for Research. The ability to monitor a room from across the street changed the geometry of intelligence. We no longer needed a man on the inside for every conversation. We just needed a line of sight. End quote. The success of Colton forced the Soviet Union to develop acoustic noise generators, small devices that would vibrate windows at random frequencies to jam the infrared beams. This sparked a vibration war that continues today, where sensitive government rooms are often built without windows entirely. Project Colton birthed the modern era of laser-based espionage. As far as operational breakthroughs go, the laser microphone. The Inverton was the direct ancestor of the modern laser microphone used by intelligence agencies worldwide today. Digital signal processing. The agency's need to clean up the dirty audio from vibrating glass led to early breakthroughs in digital filtering and voice enhancement. Infrared stealth. The project perfected the use of non-visible spectrum targeting, ensuring that a target would never see the light beam hitting their window, even with early generation night vision. One of the most significant breakthroughs was the development of corner cube optics. These allowed the CIA to place tiny passive mirrors in a room that would reflect the infrared beam directly back to the source with perfect alignment. This solved the incidence angle problem, where a beam would normally bounce off a window at an angle and disappear into the sky. Colton also pioneered the use of frequency shifting. By oscillating the frequency of the infrared light, the CIA could bypass Soviet jamming attempts. This technological cat-and-mouse game laid the groundwork for modern spread spectrum communications and secure data links used by the military today. The next time you're in a quiet room, look at the window. To you, it's a view of the world. To the agency, it's a microphone waiting to be turned on. Project Colton proved that in the world of intelligence, even silence has a frequency. Next time on CIA Declassified, we move from the science of light to the power of the pen. We examine the Dr. Javago operation. How did the CIA become the world's most secret book publisher? We'll look at the declassified log of the agency's clandestine funding, printing, and distribution of Boris's forbidden novel. We explore how a love story became a weapon of mass subversion behind the Iron Curtain. Join us for the weaponized novel. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.